Greetings, good people, and a warm welcome to Heaven Bless the Little Ones. I'm your host and television journalist, Tom O'Connor. And we have a very interesting and unusual program this evening. This program is going to be about a young man, his life and times in the 20th century, and now we're in the beginning of the 21st century. His name is Jim Pilsner, and he's a seminarian at Dunwoody, and he intends to, if the Lord works it out for him and he agrees, to be a Roman Catholic priest. And he'll be canonically appointed, probably, to one of the local parishes in New York diocese. Jim, welcome to the program.
Hello, Tom.
Glad
Thank you very much.
Have you here.
Oh, glad to be here.
And you're a native of Long Island.
That's right. That's where I grew up. Seaford, Long Island.
Seaford, Long Island. And you don't even have an accent.
Yeah.
So, so you're a seminarian, studying to be a priest. And what year are you in now?
I'm scheduled to be ordained in May of 2001. So God willing, I'll be a deacon in September, priest May 2001.
Well, can I go to your graduation and your installation at the cathedral?
You are invited to my ordination and to my first Mass, which will be at Maria Regina and Seaford, God willing. Because I still have to set it up with the pastor, of course, so I'm kind of jumping things a little bit.
Oh, that's all right. I have very good connections with the cardinal.
Okay.
Because we have the same last name.
All right.
But I think it ends there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and of course we'll have a new cardinal by then, probably. So.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
well.
Just hope for another O'Connor, right?
No, it'll probably be a Pilsner.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you were born in Seaford, and you went to Maria Regina Grade School.
That's right.
How do you pronounce that? Chaminade?
Chaminade High School.
Chaminade.
That's right.
And Gannon University.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie, Pennsylvania. And so then you got your BA in Christian wisdom.
That's right.
Wow, that's theologically very important. What is it?
The Christian Wisdom program, which sad to say is now defunct. It was a great books program. It was modeled on a program that was started by Father Joseph Fessio out at the St. Ignatius Institute in San Francisco. And the idea was that to give a kind of a very well-rounded education, it centered in literature courses, history courses, philosophy courses, theology courses, and it went from the ancient to the medieval to the modern to the contemporary. So a kind of, I guess, a thorough liberal arts kind of education. And it was a great program. One of the things that worked out well for me was it didn't take off the ground so much as far as like number of students we had. So we would have a lot of classes with 2 or 3 students and the professor. And that was it. So it was really, I had a lot of good opportunities to have some wonderful teachers, a good number of whom I'm still in contact with.
So it sounds like a coffee meeting with everybody knowing each other over a period of time.
Yeah, it was great. And, I was talking to friends who'd be like, they'd have a similar course where it's like, 1,000 people in the room or something like that. I'd be like, well, it was me and Howie and a couple of people.
That way you get to know their first names, Oh,
yeah.
So you're also in music.
Well, I'm not in music. I really enjoyed music. I played saxophone since I was in 3rd grade and clarinet since I was in 7th. I played in a lot of pit bands for a lot of different shows through high school, and I was the conductor of our of my college pep band for a year. We'd play for the basketball games and such.
Ah.
So I really enjoyed it. I wish I really ought to pick up my saxophone clarinet again, but I've just been playing a little bass guitar, but it's...
If I had only known, you could have brought it with you.
That's true, right?
You could have had a pep rally for Heaven Bless the Little Ones.
What would you have done, Tom?
I
would have sung.
I would have, what do they lip sync?
Okay.
No. My voice isn't good, I don't know, music. But also, you're a political columnist?
I was when I was in college. I had the opportunity to go to college. I had a decent scholarship when I was going to Gannon, so I found out that it was good for 5 years. So I thought, well, I can squish all my courses into 4 years, or I can go for 5 years and enjoy myself. Because I figured, well, after all, what is there in life after college anyway? So I figured, why don't I just take my time and do what I enjoy? And I liked, writing and that sort of thing. So I'd written a couple letters to the editor, and I got some positive feedback from some friends who worked on the paper. And I just figured, what the heck, let me write a political column every other week. And it worked out very nicely. I really enjoyed myself. And
that's great. So then I can see then you became an international personality, and you ended up in Poland.
Well, one of those two is correct.
Do I tend to exaggerate a bit?
Just a bit. So yes, I did end up in Poland. What happens is one of my mathematics professors, Dr. Zbigniew Ojewicz, haven't talked to him in the longest time. But anyway, he was my abstract algebra teacher.
Abstract algebra.
Abstract algebra. And I had him for 2 semesters, and we also talked about like my column that I wrote for the paper. And you know, like most Europeans, he's very interested in politics and that sort of thing. Especially, I guess, Poles would be as well. But anyway, so we talked a lot about politics, and I knew him from my math course. And he, you know, so he knew I had a decent ability in writing and that sort of thing. And one day he just said to me, you know, Jim, why don't you just come on over here and teach English? We really need good English teachers in our high schools. And I kind of had in the back of my head at the time, you know, I'd kind of like to do something different at least for a year or so anyway. So what the heck? It just kind of fit in with my plan at the moment. Because I thought, you know, after this, you know, who knows what I'll be doing? Maybe after this I'll have, you know, a steady job, maybe I'll be married, and I'll never get the chance. I figured, well, I'm young and single, why not? So
well, you have a very leisurely way of looking at life, I must admit. It's almost so casual. It's a good thing you're not on television and films. You'd probably win an Academy Award. Oh, I just did it as a second thought, you know what I mean?
It was really nothing.
And it was really nothing. Oh, wow. I'm having a little competition on this show, I have a feeling. Let's get to the religion.
That's right.
So listen, now that you've settled down, and
that's right,
and the Holy Spirit has spoken to you, and you've answered the question, and the question was, are you going to be a priest?
Yes.
And
the answer, well, to give you the whole story, I was teaching in Poland. What happened was the high school job didn't work out. I was supposed to be teaching high school in Wrocław, which used to be the city of Breslau. It's in southwestern Poland. But anyway, it's my teacher, Dr. Zbigniew Wojciech, he had gone back to Poland. He wrote back saying, you know, this job won't work out. But he found one in a college nearby, which worked out even better for me. In Poland. So I was teaching over there, and it was like November. It was November 13th. It was late at night. I was up thinking I couldn't sleep. I was sick with something, and I just kind of put the pieces of my life together. I guess I had some time, some quiet. And I kind of realized, you know, I think the Lord's calling me to be a priest. And it was something that had kind of been in the back of my head for most of my life. And most of my life, I just kind of put it back there. You know, I just didn't really want to listen to it. But it just kind of hit me, and I said, you know, this may very well be what the Lord wants me to do. And even if it isn't, I at least have to settle once and for all if this is what He wants me to do.
That's interesting. You know, I talked to Mother Teresa, and she said on November 13th, a very strange, phenomenal thing happened to her one night. She was praying, and she suffered a great deal for a young person who was making a monumental decision. Right. And I said, Mother Teresa, did you have any idea who that was? She said, no, the Lord never told me. Today I know.
Now you know, right?
But what did your family think about you? Because we're going to have some pictures of your family, and you have quite a collection of priests in your family in any case.
Right.
So the thing is that when they see the pictures, and the audience will be seeing them while we're on camera right now, I must admit it doesn't seem like an extraordinary decision because you have 2 brothers who are priests already.
Yeah. In some ways, it made the whole decision more complex. You know, I had to think to myself, you know, well, you know, is this in this idea that I should become a priest? Is this in my head because I have 2 brothers who are priests? Right. And on the other hand, I would kind of sometimes use them as an excuse, saying, you know, well, I think my 2 brothers filled the quota for my family. I think that kind of lets me go free. So
that's interesting because St. Teresa of Lisieux had practically every member of her family enter the convents or whatever.
That's right.
You know, well, one of you 3 is going to be canonized someday. Have you decided which one?
Yes. It's not going to be one of us 3. It's probably my little sister, if anybody.
Oh, talk to me about your little sister.
Well, it's sad to say, I lost my little sister in June. She'd struggled with cancer for 5.5 years.
I'm sorry.
And thank you. And she was 25 years old. She became a nurse from Georgetown University. And she had retinoblastoma, that's cancer of the retina, to which she lost her right eye as an infant. And as a result of that, she ended up getting osteosarcoma, bone cancer in her left leg. And so she had to have surgery. She had chemotherapy and she was out for a year, and then she went right back into college. She was right back into Georgetown's nursing program. Oh, wow. And she went back to school for another 1.5 years, and she finished up, and she became an RN, which she'd wanted to do all her life. And after that, she worked for a little bit, and then the cancer came back, and it was just, you know, it was just a tough battle after that. But yeah, my mom always credits her with all the vocations in the family. I guess the way my mom's thinking is, you know, I guess God can work outside of time. But the way she always argues, she says, I think that the suffering that Mary did, in a certain sense, earned the vocations of my two brothers and, God willing, myself as well.
Well, then, Mary's obviously in heaven.
I certainly believe so,
and she's probably delighted with this program tonight.
I hope so. I hope she's helping me as well at the moment.
Well, Mary is probably more generous. She better help me a little, too.
That's right.
But no, that's a marvelous, marvelous story, and I'm sorry to hear that. But situations like that, life, death, are the complete life cycle, and the wisdom of God, who can explain it? And who knows the secrets behind all the things that happen to people?
Yeah.
But this program is going to be very interesting because you have such a complex background.
Yeah.
That sometimes being at a loss for words, I'm really strange. I don't know how to ask the next question.
Okay.
You worked in the business world, and you went to the seminary right after college, did you say?
Sort of. While I was in college, I was working as an actuarial intern for a company called Insurance Services Office.
And that's where, in New York City?
Right, that's located at 7 World Trade Center.
Oh.
And so I belonged to their summer internship program, and I had a very good experience there. A lot of very nice people I worked with. They were very good to me. It was a nice working environment. But I guess the whole time I was doing it, there was always a voice in the back of my head saying, as nice as these people are and this sort of thing is, it's just, I don't know if this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right.
But anyway, I did this for a couple of summers in college, and then after college I went to teach English in Poland for a year, and then after Poland was when I came back home and entered the seminary right away. And one of the years in the seminary I worked part-time again.
What's interesting is that before the program, actually, you were telling me that since you were able to speak Polish, you were able to have a few words with the Pope.
Yes.
And I find that extraordinary because I was in Colorado with the Pope doing a television documentary, and he was only 10 feet away from me, but we never conversed, even with a few words. So I'd like to know, because that's very interesting for the public to know, how it took place, and actually what did you say to him, and did he answer you?
Okay. Yeah, I learned a little Polish both in preparation for my trip over there, and also while I was there I improved a little bit. Fortunately, most of my students had very good English over there, so I didn't necessarily need my Polish. I wouldn't call myself anywhere near fluent. There was a time when I could get by decently well, and now it's become a little rusty. But anyway, when the Pope came to visit Dunwoody, St. Joseph's Seminary, in October of '95,
right.
He came by, was shaking people's hands, and he came by me. Of course, I prepared this beforehand with a priest friend of mine who spoke Polish, and I said to him in Polish, "We thank you very much, Holy Father." And with languages, my pronunciation tends to be a lot better than my understanding of languages.
No, I was wondering, because actually, when you were mentioning the names of the priests, it was absolutely so perfect.
Oh.
And the names of Polish people, I could never even stumble close to any of that.
Yeah, Polish has a lot of tongue twisters, a lot of consonants together and such.
Wow.
But anyway, so I said that to him in Polish, and he pulled me closer. And this is right in the chapel. Well, this is all going during his visit. He pulled me closer, and I said it again. And then he responded to me in Polish, and I didn't have a clue what he said. I had no idea. With another friend who was in the seminary, I was able to piece together, I think he said something like, "Where did you come from?" Which seems simple enough, but I guess maybe I was just too nervous or something. But I just had no idea. So I just responded in Polish again saying, "Excuse me, Holy Father, I just know a little Polish. I was an English teacher in Poland for 9 months." But that's more than enough. Did he give
you the papal blessing?
Well, he kind of gave me a little pat on the hand, which is more than enough for me.
No, that's great. No, that's beautiful. Yeah. So you did get to meet the Pope.
Yeah, in fact, I met him 3 times.
3 times?
3 times, yeah.
All in the United States?
No, once in the United States, twice in Rome.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. So that means that you're confirmed. That is a sure sign that you're on your way to be one of the greatest cardinals of the 21st century.
At this point, I'd be very happy just to become a Catholic priest.